Kamen Rider! Back!
What's up, you guys? Kamen Rider fan freaks, Godzilla fan freaks, coming at you today with another figure review. Again, shout out goes to my kaiju brother Nick Adams over at the Monster Report for helping me with that little skit intro. Today we got a fun one. My favorite Kamen Rider. We have the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider ZO. This Kamen Rider really was only in his own movie, and it was kind of like a short film. It's only about 45 to 50 minutes long, but it is absolutely excellent. It is an amazing piece of tokusatsu. I mean, the practical effects, even the early 90s CGI effects, the sets, just everything, the suit designs, all of that is just absolutely incredible. I highly recommend checking out Kamen Rider ZO if you have not. I believe you could probably watch it online somewhere, but if you want to support one of my good friends, Matt Burkett over at Monstrosities, worked on this Kamen Rider trilogy. I even had him sign it for me. And Kamen Rider ZO is included in this trilogy. It is the second movie right here, and in my opinion, the best out of the three. Shin Kamen Rider Prologue, it comes in at my second, and then Kamen Rider J comes in at my last. But this is just awesome. Look this up on Amazon. Buy yourself a copy. You will not be disappointed. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, the price alone, in my opinion, like, even if you just get it for ZO, it's worth it. It's just an absolutely fantastic film, and I'm really happy to dive on into this figure. So again, shout out goes to my buddy Matt Burkett from Monstrosities, a channel of tokusatsu. Thank you, brother, for introducing me to, this Kamen Rider trilogy and kind of throwing me down this Kamen Rider rabbit hole. And again, Kamen Rider ZO is my number one. It's just absolutely amazing. It's just the bare core what Kamen Rider is supposed to be. Kamen Rider has its wholesome moments. It also has its dark and gritty tone, and you get all of that with ZO. It's just not all flashy effects, there's a kid involved, and you know what I mean? Like, it's not just for a kid audience. Like, this is very adult oriented as well. Kamen Rider ZO is just absolutely amazing. The music, the soundtrack is probably my favorite Kamen Rider soundtrack as well. His theme just slaps. It's amazing. It's fire. Using all those new terms for all those young kids out there. Anyway, definitely, again, check out Kamen Rider ZO. I highly recommend it. Let's dive right on into this figure. Now, if I did my research correctly, this figure's about 10 years old. I had to do some digging to actually find a figure of ZO online, and I actually came across the SH Figuarts on Amazon. But again, 10-year-old figure, so you're going to kind of have some outdated stuff from the Tamashii Nations, like joints and stuff like that are going to be a little older. But in my opinion, their older stuff is better. They actually cared about their quality. So just right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, this figure is awesome. So let's dive right on into it with the box. With the box, you get a nice picture of ZO here, a little write-up here in the corner explaining what SH Figuarts is. It's a new standard figure series, action figure art under the theme character expression through, humanoid action and lots of articulation and stuff like that. You get the Kamen Rider ZO logo down here, of course, Bandai Tamashii Nations, SH Figuarts Master Rider ZO, top, also the same. Spine here, you just get all that mumbo jumbo. This spine here, nice picture of the figure itself. On the back, you get those promotional shots of the figure, a little accessory that he comes with, and all that other good stuff. So again, just a basic box all the way around, but still a really nice box. And just because Kamen Rider ZO or ZO, however you want to pronounce it, because I believe in Japan it's ZO, but I like to say ZO. For me, it just kind of sounds a little cooler, a little edgier. But Definitely keeping the box just because, again, my favorite rider. There's not really a lot of collectibles out there that I know of from this movie. My buddy Matt said he definitely has maybe a couple things in storage that he's going to pull out and actually gift to me since I enjoyed the movie so much. So, Matt, I thank you for that again. I can't wait for us to hang out again. But, man, was really happy to find this figure for sure. So, without further ado, let's get right on into the figure. Set this box over off to the side here. So here we have the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider ZO. Yes, I know that this is not his battle hopper. This is not his motorcycle that he uses in the film. There's actually not a figure, to my knowledge, of the, his motorcycle. Like, there's not a model kit for his battle hopper or anything like that. Hopefully, maybe there might be one in the future. I mean, that's always a possibility with older IPs. Sometimes companies will revisit it or, cast, molds for a model or something like that. So, who knows? But this was like the closest I could get to like kind of what his bike looks like in the movie. Granted, it's a supercharged crotch rocket Kawasaki, but I just thought the green and the gunmetal accents were very, accurate to ZO and what he would drive, basically. So yeah, this is definitely not his bike. This is a supercharged, crazy, superpowered Ninja Kawasaki. So, but I still think it went well with him, and he sits very nicely on top of it. I just kind of had it for show. We're not really going to look at the bike because, again, it's not an official Kamen Rider bike, and I don't do motorcycle bike reviews on this channel. So unless it's tokusatsu related, and it is technically not. So here we have the figure. He has this little accessory, little grasshopper buddy, which I will go over in detail a little later on when I get to accessories, but I just kind of wanted to have it for that opening shot there. The figure itself, again, this is an absolutely amazing, beautiful figure. The articulation is decent for what you get. Again, the quality is there. The paint is really nice and clean. The sculpting is really nice. The joints are really nice. For a 10-year-old figure, again, Tamashii Nations, I don't know if they need to go back to the drawing board, but again, their quality, just everything overall has not been the same. They really overcharge. Their prices are super inflated now on like all their different lines, from SH Monster Arts to Figuarts stuff. Their quality is all over the place. Some figures are absolutely amazing, while other figures are absolutely garbage. And then again, it sucks that we're paying the premium prices that we are now for, the kind of garbage product. So, Tamashii Nations, this is a video just saying turn it around, because here you have a 10-year-old figure, again, decade old, and it's 1,000 times better than a lot of the stuff you put out today. Just to get right on into this figure review with paint, Kamen Rider ZO, another thing I really like about him is he's very basic. He's very, he's bare bones. He has a nice design, but it works, but it's also simple. His whole outer body suit is a nice, very dark green. You have these nice gold accent lines throughout that make it look really nice and pretty. A very nice translucent, red gem piece for not even really his belt driver. It's just literally a part of his suit, but it stands out very nice and it looks great. Moving on to his helmet here, again, you have very nice whites with, again, look at that line work. Just look at it. All the way through, no bit of slop. It doesn't look crooked. They don't look bad. It's just absolutely amazing paintwork there. Again, if you were to do this figure today with Tamashii Nations quality, I'm sure you'd have quality control issues with this all over the place, up the yin-yang. Very nice translucent red eyes. Very, very nice. His antenna with the little dab of red. And again, that's it. Like, just, again, very basic, but it works. Gold throughout the helmet looks really good. This is just a really, really solid figure. The paint is absolutely... again, all the line work. I mean, sure, there might be a little bit of chipness here, but again, this is a 10-year-old figure. I can forgive that. The fact that the rest of this figure looks so clean with all the lines, again, incredible. Incredible job. So the paint, 10 out of 10. You got your greens, golds, whites, little bit of black, reds. Just looks amazing. Detail-wise, again, ZO here, ZO, he's very simple. He's pretty much overall smooth. He doesn't have a lot of crazy edges or anything like that. But all these lines and everything in his suit, all of that is raised. They're not just painted on. They're etched into the sculpt. You know? So you can feel every line, basically. Same thing with his helmet. All the detail of all the, you know, overlapped, segmented pieces, basically. Look really, really good. Even these little indents here going along the helmet, just really, really nice. You get these, you know, helmet accent lines here. Again, the bug eye detail in the translucent, you know, looks really, really good. I mean, oh, it's amazing. His antenna, really, really nice. His antenna are a little pliable, so even if this guy might take like a fall or something, these probably wouldn't break immediately. But again, you know, the antenna are a little fragile, I will say. But they are more pliable than another Kamen Rider that I will get into in the next figure review. And we'll talk about the antennas on that one. But these antennas actually really nice. They're pliable. They have some give to them, which is nice. But again, just the detail is just, it's simple, but it's great. Just looks good. Articulation on this guy. ZO can look up ever so far. He can look down about that far. You know, you can tilt his head. You can turn it. Really good range of motion in the head. His shoulders, again, it's an older style SH Figuarts, so he has these shoulder pads just to work with the articulation that are on a hinge. That way you can get, you know, the more movements, and then you just bring them down to sit. It doesn't look crazy pretty depending on the angle, but you know what? It works for what it is. It's still, again, miles above a lot of the stuff they come out with today, in my opinion. But arms, you can move up, you can move down. He does have a bicep swivel in there. Elbows, not really double jointed, but still you get a really nice bend out of the elbows. Wrists are on a ball joint hinge, so you can rotate, bend, however you see fit. His waist, you have a couple segments here. You have a segment here at the abs and then another lower segment here at the waist that you can get all kinds of good, you know, bend movement out of. I mean, again, just look at that range. It's absolutely incredible. He can do the splits very well. And you can even bring his legs down, pull them down, and then you can get even a wider stance motion. No thigh swivel really at all. You can kind of pivot them ever so outwards, but not a whole heck of a lot. Knees, double jointed knees, very nice bend in those. Ankles, you can pivot, bend downward, bend upward, flat. He has toe articulation, bend those toes. Again, you can kick forward ever so far. You can kick backward really, really far. Good range of motion for the legs, the arms, just all the way around. This guy has great articulation. No complaints. Let me see if I can get him standing here. Sometimes standing him, you just got to get him balanced just right. And if he'll stand just like that, bam, look at that. Just immediately, you know. Granted, he's out of focus, but... I mean, SH Figuarts, you have to mess with them a little bit. There we go. Accessories. Let's go on to his accessories next. He does come with an alternate head, so for those who have seen Kamen Rider ZO, his very final fight, when the Neonoid, again, spoilers, takes a shot at the kid, he's de-transformed at this point, so he's in his human form, basically. He tanks this laser shot And then he's just like, man, you were really going to shoot this kid? Man, he turns around and just has one of the most awesome henshin moments ever in Kamen Rider. I mean, his face, the seriousness. And, you know, that's another thing I like about ZO here. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a sword. He doesn't really have like any crazy special power. He just has these hands. And if you tick him off, you're going to catch him. If you're a bad guy, you're going to get beaten. You know, that's what's great about him, is that he really doesn't have anything crazy. Of course, he has like his strength and his speed and agility and stuff like that. But it's like, that's it. He has nothing outside of that. And then, you know, even his bike, you know, he utilizes in the movie as a weapon at times. But even that, it's not like anything crazy. But that's another thing I like about ZO, is just, he's just brute force. And he's a street fight, you know what I mean? So when he does that transformation, he brings out his little mouthpieces, you know, because he's angry, you know, and so those flex in the suit and everything like that, and which is a great effect, and it just looks awesome. And then that's awesome that they gave us an alternate head to recreate that moment. As far as the paint and the sculpting on this head goes, it's just as good as the last one. And again, just that added detail. You got the silvers. Looks really, really nice. There we go. Yeah, even then it's not focusing 100%, but you guys get the idea. But again, just the line work, it's clean. The silver's not like bleeding over to the white in any areas. It just looks great. So he comes with the alternate head. Of course, with other SH Figuarts, you know, again, the standard humanoids, Ultraman, Kamen Riders, stuff like that. Of course, they're going to come with a bunch of hands. So he has, of course, I have a fist on right now, but of course he has another fist for his other hand. On this hand here, he kind of has kind of an open, kind of just like fighting ready pose hand, which he does have. Let's see, where is it? He does have... Here it is. Here's the other one for the other hand. So as you can see, like the two fingers are curled, other two fingers are out, and then thumb. So he's just kind of posed, ready to strike, you know, ready to throw some punch or kick out there. Of course, he has chopping hands. And again, each hand is very well detailed and painted. And then he has kind of open, you know, all fingers kind of spread, you know, not crazy open, but kind of laxed open hands. And then for his last accessory, let me get all those hands out of the way. In the movie, it has a couple screen time moments, but he has a little grasshopper buddy that comes in and, you know, is able to like give him information and, you know, telepathically communicate with him to show him things to where he can find his way. And this is a nice little piece. I mean, again, for how small this is, the eyes are nicely painted. I mean, the body itself with the greens and the browns and everything. Again, no bit of slop. Again, the quality is just there. Why Tamashii Nations couldn't keep this up? Again, this is 10 years old, guys. 10 years old. But just looks great. And you can have the option to either have the wings spread, or you could take the wings off, and then he has this little tiny piece that you can just plug into the back. That makes him to where, you know, he's not flying. But that about does it for this figure review, you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, go on Amazon, look up the Kamen Rider trilogy. The ZO movie is on there. Again, even just for that movie alone, the price is worth it. If you enjoyed the other two movies, that's awesome too. But I highly recommend picking up this trilogy. Again, you're helping my buddy Matt Burkett from Monstrosities, who did commentary on the ZO film, and he did commentary on the Shin Kamen Rider Prologue. He didn't do commentary on Jay, but still, just because he did work on this project and has commentary, I had him sign my copy. So again, thank you very much, buddy. Hope you guys enjoyed today's figure review on the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider ZO. We are Godzilla fan freaks, otherwise known as Kamen Rider fan freaks when I do Kamen Rider reviews. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out Godzilla Fan Freaks over on Facebook and Instagram. Like and follow if you haven't on those. Atomic Blast, those like buttons, those notification bells, all those great things. And without further ado, you guys, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.
Whatever's fair, pal.